All right, we're getting closer and closer to baby's big arrival.
Wow.
Woo! This week, you might be wondering, when will labor actually start and how will you know when it's time to call your doctor? We'll break that down for you. Plus, we'll take a look at how much your little one has developed by week 34 and what it might look like if your baby were to be born early.
Partners, we've got some solid advice for you regarding the postpartum period and what you can do ahead of time to cover meals, cleaning, and other stuff. We're Ben and Jessica LaGrone, creators of the Balanced Birth Class for Couples. Let's dive in.
All right, your baby is now the size of a medium-sized pumpkin. At this stage, many of their key systems are in the final stages of development, including their central nervous system and lungs. If your baby were to arrive early at 34 weeks, they would likely do well with medical support, as long as there were no other complications. Babies born at this stage are considered late preterm, and here's what that means. Many late preterm babies can breathe on their own, but they may need respiratory support. They may have difficulty regulating their body temperature and could need an incubator or heated blankets. Some babies may require tube feeding until they're strong enough to nurse or bottle feed successfully. And finally, late preterm babies are at a higher risk of developing jaundice, which might require some treatment. While baby is still growing and strengthening for a few more weeks, they're getting ready to meet you both. All right, by now you're probably familiar with Braxton Hicks contractions. These practice contractions help your body prepare for labor, but they can sometimes be confusing, especially as you get closer to your due date. They tend to come and go unpredictably, causing a brief tightening or hardening of your abdomen. Unlike real labor contractions, Braxton Hicks don't follow a steady pattern. They don't increase in intensity, and they usually go away with rest, hydration, or a change in position. But as you approach the final weeks of pregnancy, you may start wondering, how will I know when it's the real deal? Well, here are 4 key signs that it's time to call your doctor or head to the hospital. Number 1, you experience regular contractions every 4 to 5 minutes that hurt. True labor contractions will develop a pattern, becoming stronger, longer, and closer together over time. If you're experiencing contractions that come every 5 minutes, for an hour or more that you cannot talk through, it's time to check in with your healthcare provider. Number 2, your water breaks. This could be a sudden gush of fluid or even a slow trickle. Either way, it's a sign that labor is progressing. Let your doctor know, and you can decide whether you want to wait for contractions to begin or go ahead and head to the hospital. Now, I want to mention, if you experience severe or prolonged pain, if you have intense pain that doesn't ease up between contractions or just feels kind of different from what you've experienced before, it is important to go ahead and make that call and get checked out. Another thing you want to keep an eye on is if you notice significant decrease in baby's movements. Your baby's movements should remain fairly consistent even in the final weeks of pregnancy. If you notice a sudden drop in activity, or if your baby isn't responding as usual, contact your healthcare provider right away. And in general, if you're ever unsure, just don't hesitate to reach out to your doctor or midwife. That's what they're there for, and it's always better to ask than to wonder.
Hey partners, if you want to be a rock star during that early labor period, you need to rewind and just watch all that section again. It's really helpful for you to understand the signs of labor just as much as mom. But now let's shift to talk about postpartum. It's really a perfect time right now to start planning for that, especially when it comes to housework. Once baby arrives, mom's gonna have her hands full with recovery and caring for the newborn, and you'll both be adjusting to just a whole new routine. So taking some time right now to get organized and kind of think through those first few weeks really makes it a lot smoother and less stressful for both of you. So here are just a few things to consider. First, create a cleaning plan. Identify the essential household tasks that need to be maintained and decide and talk about who's gonna handle that. If friends or family have offered to help, consider making a schedule for when they can come by and assist with those things. Second, consider hiring help if that's needed. If it's within your budget, hiring a cleaning service, even just for a few weeks, can really take a huge load off your shoulders. Third, make sure you stock up on all those essentials, toilet paper, paper towels, pantry staples. That way you're not running errands when you're sleep deprived. And finally, meal prep or arranging for meal delivery. Having nutritious, easy to prepare meals on hand can really be a huge lifesaver and bring a lot of relief. Whether it's cooking and freezing those meals now, signing up for a meal delivery service, or just coordinating a meal train with your family and friends, this stuff ensures that you're eating well, and it's just one less thing to worry about. By taking care of these details in advance, you'll be able to focus on what matters most, which is supporting mom and just really soaking up those first precious weeks with your new baby. All right, it's time for those weekly discussion questions. This week is all about developing an attitude of gratitude. Because it's easy to really get cynical and stressed out, right? So I want you to talk about, number one, what are 3 things that you are grateful for this pregnancy? And number 2, what's something you've seen in your partner this pregnancy that you're really thankful for? So there's only a few weeks to go. Keep counting your blessings. Don't get too stressed out, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.